Helium Mobile token is just days away from going live. Voting for HIP 52 and 53 is officially open, and the HNT price is consolidating around the $10 level. Over the last few weeks, the details involving the new mobile token have been finalized, and the HIP itself has been adjusted and refined to include the specific mechanics of how this new network token will function. It is possible that the earnings from the new 5G mobile hotspots will resemble or even outperform the original Helium hotspots back in late 2020. There are a lot of similarities between now and then, but there are also a lot more moving pieces now, and the barrier to entry and the upfront cost for one of these miners is significantly higher. Let's take a look at the details in today's video. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the Crypto Compound channel. Thank you all so much for being here. Please hit that like and subscribe on the way in. It really helps support the channel. Today's video, we are going to be discussing HIP 52 and HIP 53 voting going live, as well as new details surrounding estimated earnings with regards to these 5G mobile hotspots. Now, as we can see here on heliumvote.com, both of these votes are currently active as of yesterday. They are for the IoT sub-DAO and the mobile sub-DAO. As we can see, there is an overwhelming support for these HIPs right now, one day in. These will close approximately July 25th, so about 5 days. But for today, we are going to mainly be focusing on the 5G mobile sub-DAO, the details regarding it, and some new estimates regarding mobile token earnings for hotspots right now. Before we do that, we are going to talk about the charts because there are some very interesting developments here on the charts, especially considering the broader crypto rally here. No telling if it is sustainable just yet, but there has been a significant bump in prices across the board, and Helium has also seen a price increase, briefly jumping above the $10 mark, but getting rejected here by the 50 EMA just a few hours ago. If we look here on the daily, we can see that positive momentum is building, and we are currently above this long-term support and resistance line. This is a huge critical turning point here on the chart for Helium, and as we can see, we are basically right now just in between this support line and the 50 EMA on the daily, with momentum gaining. And as we can see, we have fought above this trend line here on the RSI, and we do appear to be gaining momentum at this moment. Now, if we look at the more significant, more important time frame right now, the weekly time chart, we can see that we are actually losing a lot of negative momentum here. We have not turned positive yet on the weekly, but this is really, really good news. This is 5 or 6 straight weeks of consecutive lower negative momentum here on the charts, and this is a pretty decently sized green candle right now. We, of course, will look for final confirmation on the beginning of a new uptrend here on the weekly first, as the daily can show many signs of false signals here, as we've seen over the coming weeks. But if we do look here on the daily, we can see the lowest low here followed by a lower low here. And if we zoom in and we take a look at where this previous low closed right around here, we can see that we almost approached this level here with this wick. We didn't make it exactly. We turned around before then, but this is a good sign. This is showing the lowest low, a higher low, and an even higher low here. So guys, from a structural standpoint here, this could turn out to be the very beginning of the next uptrend here for Helium, for HNT, especially if this 5G rollout does go well and we see a rollout and an adoption of these 5G miners the same way as we did with the original HNT miners back in late 2020, early 2021. We have to remember that Helium is an incentive-driven network. We have to see adoption of these new hotspots the same way that we have seen the originals. As we can see, the increase in original hotspots is significantly down. We were approaching almost 90,000 new hotspots in previous 30 days. Just a few months ago, we are currently down significantly to only plus 33,000. And if we look here on the charts, we can see that is being shown here. This line is really, really starting to flatten out. These are the number of hotspots onboarded per day, and this is the total count. As we can see, it is starting to flatten out. And that, of course, is because a lot of people have lost hope, lost confidence with regards to Helium after this new sub-DAO structure. But now if we do look here on the Explorer, we can see there is a new 5G statistics tab here, and we can start to now finally see the total number of 5G hotspots, the numbers added over the previous 6 days. Now it's very possible that this is the very beginning of another monstrous momentum shift into the 5G mobile hotspots. We don't know that for certain yet, but there are a lot of companies out here that are really pushing this new hardware, the 5G mobile hardware for these hotspots and these miners. Now, of course, it is not as simple as it was with the IoT miners. These require radios and eSIMs. It is a little bit more complex, and as you can see, it is significantly more expensive. Now, Bobcat and Minted by Rack Wireless are the two 5G hotspots that I would recommend if you are interested. They have shown massive investment into launching these products, and they have been around for the longest amount of time. There is also talk about converting your existing gold spot or black spot minted miner into a 5G hotspot as well. So stay tuned for updates on that. But even more recently, we can see that there is this 5G hotspot bot here on Twitter, and they have officially started to announce estimated earnings for indoor and outdoor mobile hotspots. Now, of course, this data is based on what we can see in this emission curve here in the HIP on the Helium GitHub. As we can see, we are starting the year, they are starting with basically airdropping 50 billion mobile tokens, and they will mine an additional 66 billion more in the first year. Now, this first year is considered a stub year, as we can see up here, from the period of August 1st, 2022 to August 1st of 2023. Thereafter, we will move on to mining 33 billion tokens in year 2, and we will have 2-year halving periods, and that number will get cut in half every 2 years. But guys, the big question mark here, the big answer that people are looking for is what type of conversion are we going to see with regards to mobile and HNT, because of course you are going to now be mining the mobile token, not HNT. HNT is the one that is on exchanges, the one that has the actual dollar value associated with it. So the big question is, what type of conversion rate is this mobile token going to see with the official HNT token? We do know that it is backed by HNT, and HNT is the only thing that can be burned to produce data credits here on the mobile 5G sub-DAO. However, that conversion rate is unknown, and I believe it will also be changing as people stake different amounts of HNT to different sub-DAOs. So even though we do not know that figure yet, the speculation is that the 5G sub-DAO is going to be extremely valuable. Now guys, there is also a very helpful Helium Foundation blog post that I will post in the description down below. You guys can come take a look. There are some frequently asked questions and some helpful information here with regards to your HNT now, the IoT tokens and the mobile tokens specifically, all stuff like that. You could read this before you vote if you do so wish to vote on heliumvote.com. But guys, this is really exciting times here for Helium. If you are looking to speculate on the success and the rollout of this new network of networks structure. Now, of course, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, there are so many people out there that are very upset with these new proposals and this new direction, and they do feel that Helium has abandoned the IoT or the LoRa miners and the early adopters here on the network. And look, I have been mining with my traditional miners for quite some time, and I do understand what people are saying, but we have to remember that the Helium network was not designed to make us rich. That is not the intent or the purpose of the Helium network. That oftentimes can prove to be a byproduct of what is going on with Helium if you choose to invest in HNT or in these specific miners. However, the purpose of Helium is to become the largest global decentralized network on the planet, and they have chosen to take the route of becoming a multi-protocol network in an attempt to capture more value in the decentralized wireless space. We have to remember this, and of course we might not be thrilled that we're not making $100 or $400 a day like people were back in the very beginning of Helium mining, but that is just the nature of adopting and evolving and moving towards what is best for the network. Now, guys, we can look back in 6 months or a year from now, and these 5G miner hotspots might even outperform what original Helium miners were. So we don't really know if this is good, if this is bad, if people are going to adopt this. The only thing we do know is that 5G data transfers are incredibly valuable and are increasing in need every day. That is why Helium has chosen to adopt the 5G protocol, as well as other protocols down the line, such as Wi-Fi and things like that. But I can say that I am very excited about this new direction, and I am certainly excited about seeing the development and the reflection of the value of the network in the HNT price. Guys, leave your comments down below. Thank you so much for being here and watching until the end. I am in fact leaving for Colombia for a friend's bachelor party tomorrow, so hopefully I make it back in one piece, and we will continue reporting here on the Helium Network when I return. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Please hit that like and subscribe if you have not already, but just like that, this video is over, and I will see you next time.